having a little bit of technical issues. That's what happens when we go live sometimes. So there's nothing much we can do about that. We just get to check that the feed's going through. Unfortunately, I can't hear you, but I can wave to you anyway. And we'll just see where we're at. Everybody in the room okay? Beautiful. Okay, so today's programs, both the Yin and the Hatha class, this evening are going to be for lower back issues. And this is something that I have a lot of experience with, not because of my yoga, but before the yoga. Some of you may know that when I was 20 I sat in a wheelchair. I had extreme back pain even after the operation, which enabled me to walk again. And it wasn't until a few years later that I actually started with yoga to try and help something. And I ended up a yoga teacher. So basically anything's possible, as I usually say online and with the rest of our information. So everybody is welcome in my classes. I don't mind whether you can touch your toes or not, nor should you. It's just to do 100% of what you can do, when you can do it, and how much you can do it, and that's all. And if you do that every time, you just simply get better. And it took me 10 years, just so you have some kind of reference, it took me 10 years just to touch my toes. So, and today, of course, I can do that easily. So if you follow me, as I said earlier today, if you do these practices, your back pain will get less and less and less, and eventually you'll not have any back pain at all. In fact, after the operation, my doctors told me that I should not be bending forward from my waist because my back won't be able to cope with that. And I'm not one to criticize the medical institutions at all. They've helped me a lot, and now I'm walking because of them. So it's not because of that, but sometimes it just may be a little bit what they say. And they told me that I should never bend forward from my waist because my back is not going to be able to cope with that. So I'm just going to basically ignore what they said and just continue with my yoga. Sometimes you have a little humor. So today, as I said, we're going to be working with lower back discomfort. So it's going to be a nice, easy program. For most of us, we can just sort of almost go to sleep and just relax. So we're going to start, of course, with a little meditation. So making sure you're sitting comfortably, taking a cushion under the base of the spine, as usual, if you need it. Legs crossed, legs straight, half lotus, whatever is comfortable for you. Closing the eyes, resting your hands on your knees, the palms of the hands up towards the top of the room. Take a few deep conscious breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Conscious of the change of temperature in the nose as we breathe in and as we breathe out. Feeling the support from the earth beneath us. Constantly there and always in perfect balance. Be conscious of the movement of your body as we breathe. Now releasing any control over your breath. Allowing the body to breathe completely by itself and simply watch. maybe come up to the mind, not limited by the physical form of your body. It is a space. A space where your thoughts travel from one side to the other. The smaller the space, the more important the thoughts seem to be. So maybe reversing this process and expanding this space. Until the thoughts are almost insignificant. Once you are comfortable with the size of your space, which will change each day depending on how you are feeling, you can find the center point of this space. It is often beyond your thoughts, in the center of your mind. It is a place that we can sit and watch, without judgment, right or wrong. It is a place of compassion, understanding, and learning, and infinite wisdom. The more we train Yin Yoga together, the more we can maintain the focus in this space. Understanding more and more that everything outside this space is simply an experience. Your breath, the sounds, even your body, the mat, and the support you are feeling from the earth. And even your mind. Slowly and gently opening the eyes. Welcome. Some of you might be wondering why we spend quite a bit of time just landing on the mat, and it's to do with the fact that the more conscious we are before we start to practice the yoga, the less likely we are to injure the body or hurt the body. So becoming as conscious as possible before even starting the process of the physical yoga. But now we are going to start with that. So please come to the back of your mat on the knees, and today we're going to start with supported child. And what I'd like to encourage you to do here is to take cushions, separate the knees to the sides of the mat and take cushions in front of you. If you have a bolster like this, you can use this. And as I've said many times before, if you want to join my classes a lot, we use these a lot, so it's worth making an investment for yourself. It's just to support in many of the positions. Otherwise, we can use cushions as usual. And all we're going to do today is just simply come forward with the body and down onto the cushions or the bolster in this supported child position. You can hang the head over the end of the cushions Maybe even bringing the forehead to the mat, if that's possible. And relaxing the arms completely. The shoulders. The hips. And the lower back. If it is not possible for you to come all the way down onto the cushion, then take more cushions. The most important thing is that we are completely comfortable and can relax completely. I'd like you now to take a deep, conscious inhale. Feel how the body lifts away from the position. And then a long exhale and feel how the body actually sinks back into the position and possibly even a little deeper into the position. Make sure the shoulders are relaxed. You can just gently lift the elbows. Allow the shoulder blades to be free in the back. And if you have any stiffness in the neck, you can lift the head, place it back onto the mat. Seems to have appeared some kind of myth around that we shouldn't move when we're practicing Yin Yoga. Just stay completely still for the 3 to 5 minutes of each position. This is simply not true. And for those of you who are experiencing pain or discomfort in the lower back, this is almost the most important thing for you to understand right now. Come out of the position if it is too uncomfortable, and come back into the position and then go out of it. Put as many cushions as you need under the body, between you and the floor. And remember what I was saying in the beginning. If you are doing 100% of what you can do, then you are doing 100% yoga. You can understand the idea of improving each position with maybe 1 millimeter a week. Then after 1 year, you would have 5.2 centimeters more flexibility in every single direction. And then we just gently come out of the position. So we can use the arms here. Most of the positions today, we're just going to stay in the position for approximately 3 minutes, especially with the lower back. We don't want to stay too long in any of the positions, especially in the beginning. But all of these positions, you can stay into up to 5 minutes. So if you're practicing this session with your lower back, and you're doing it again, then maybe just pause the video and just take an extra couple of minutes and then continue the video. All of them are available, of course, on my channel. So we're going to come to the next position now, and we're going to come into a position which is called deer position. And this is a position that we haven't practiced before, but we're still going to use the bolster. So I want you to press that on the outside of your mat. And we're going to take the lower leg and make it parallel with the short end of your mat. So the lower leg, sorry, move the bolster out the way so you can see what I'm doing. Lower leg parallel with the short end of your mat. Then we make the upper leg parallel with the outside of your mat. Right. Good, so we look down here, parallel with the outside of the mat, lower part of the leg parallel with the short end of the mat. Then we're going to take the knee of the left leg just behind the heel of the right foot. You can use, of course, the right hand to stop yourself falling over. Good, Marlon. And the lower part of the left leg is now going to be straight with the outside of the mat on the opposite side. So, once we have that position, then we can take the bolster. And we're just going to fold down onto the bolster. So what I want you to do at the moment is just place the bolster on top of your right knee and just lean forward. Again here, we're using as many cushions as you possibly need. Okay, so you might find that you're already all the way up on your hands and you can support with the arms. This position frees up the pelvis, it frees up the hips, and is especially effective to free up the lower back and all the muscles surrounding it, which is generally where we feel the discomfort. So just gently down onto the cushions. And of course, if you're more flexible, then you can come all the way down onto the bent leg. And bring your forehead to the floor. So as I said, we're not going to stay in these positions very long today. And it's very important, especially if you do have discomfort in the lower back, that you do not do more than your body can do. Treat yourself with love, understanding and compassion. Good, so we're gently going to release the position. I guess there's probably quite a few of you out there thinking, that's nice, good. I like releasing the position. We're going to change sides, of course. So, we take the lower leg of the left leg, parallel to the short end of the mat. We make sure that the upper leg is parallel with the outside of the mat on the left side. Place the left hand on the floor outside the mat or beside you, and then place the right knee behind the left heel. Bring the lower leg then parallel to the outside of the mat. We take the bolster again, or the cushions, and we place them in a position where we can just lie down onto the cushion. Allow the shoulders to be heavy here, in the back. Relax the hips, the ankles, and even your fingers. You can turn the head gently, so you're basically looking out to the right. You're just lying down on the cushion. And of course, as before, coming all the way down onto the bent leg, if that's possible. Relaxing the lower back and the hips, the knees, the ankles, and even your toes. The fingers relaxed, neck. Conscious of the sounds that surround you. Marlon looks so comfortable, I think she's going to go to sleep in a minute. Good. And then we're going to gently come out of the position. So again, approximately 3 minutes. Good. Alright, so we're just going to change this position now to a twisted deer. That sounds extremely uncomfortable, but I can assure you that it's a very nice position. So now we're going to take the lower part of the left leg, parallel with the wrong side of the mat, just in front of you. And then we're going to take the upper leg of the left, parallel to the short end of the mat. You place the knee of the right leg just behind the left heel. And now the lower part of the right leg is parallel with the short end of the mat. Okay? We can take the cushion or the bolster and place it against the hip of the left hip. And then we're just going to lie down onto the left cushions. This is such a wonderful position. This is also a position that I used, especially in the beginning, a lot. Even when I was in my own bed, just having this relief from the lower back here and this support. How I started with yoga actually gives me a sort of unique outlook and understanding of how difficult yoga can be if you have a lot of discomfort, pain, or if you're very stiff. For me, it's a wonderful experience every day to feel that at the age of 63 I'm actually more physically capable, more flexible, stronger, more relaxed, more conscious than I was when I was 20. How are you doing, Julia? You're nice and relaxed. Good. We relax the shoulders just that little bit more, just for the last few seconds here. Relax the left hip, left buttock, and of course the lower back. Finish this position this side. We're taking a deep breath once more, all the way in, fill the lungs. And then a long exhale and sink even deeper into the cushion, into the floor, into the earth beneath you, and oh, it's lovely. We're definitely going to have to leave this position before I fall asleep. Good. We gently, of course, come out of the position. Feeling kind of the resistance of the body to actually leave the floor. And of course we're going to change sides, so of course we have the bolster somewhere where we can reach it. And we're going to change sides. So now I'm going to have the lower part of the right leg parallel. Sorry, I'll just move my clothes so you can see. Parallel with the outside of the mat. I move the upper leg so I'm parallel with the short end of the mat. Use the hands all the time here. I know I'm sort of over explaining everything right now, but when we start with yoga, it's good to have sort of instructions. We know exactly what we're doing and how. It just helps and creates a lot of ease for the whole position. Moving now the left knee behind the right heel and the lower part of the left leg parallel with the short end of the mat. We take the bolster and we place it now against the right hip and we lie down onto the bolster out to the right. And now we're looking, of course, to the left. So we're relaxing the shoulders, resting the right side of the cheek or the head onto the cushions or the bolster. You can notice that it's maybe feeling a little bit different than the other side. For me, this position is much easier on this side, but it might be the opposite for you. You can close the eyes if you wish to and just experience the breath, movement of the body. And in the beginning, I'm often talking about this deep breath in and deep breath out. This is not normally a part of the Yin Yoga, and a lot of people are probably going to be complaining that I shouldn't be saying this. But for me, especially when I started doing yoga, it was so important for me to understand the small dynamics of things that happen. These were the small things that encouraged me to do it again. So these classes are sort of the basically the opposite of a short on YouTube. We actually take the time to do this for ourselves, and we can do it whenever we wish to. You don't have to do the whole of the program. You can do some of the program and come back to it another day or another time. The whole point is to be able to relax as much as possible. Giving all responsibility to the earth beneath you. In my opinion, there's nothing really more stressful than thinking to yourself, I must relax. In fact, often when we're stressed or when we have a lot of discomfort in the body, the last thing we want to do is to sit still and do nothing. Because then we have to actually face the fact that we're not actually feeling okay. So this is why I encourage people to come to my classes. Everybody is welcome. And it's my passion to help people feel just that little bit better each day. And of course, we're going to come out of the position before I fall asleep, out to the right. come gently up from the mat. I'm so relaxed I completely forgot the next position. Right, yes, okay. We're going to come into seal position. We're going to lie on the stomach, so it doesn't really matter how you come down to the mat, as long as we do it as lazily as possible. So we're going to roll onto the stomach here. And I'm going to encourage you to have the feet together in the center of the mat, toes pointed out. If it's not comfortable for the ankles or for your lower back, you can have a cushion under your ankles, or even the bolster. So take your time to actually adjust this if you need to. We're then going to bring the elbows forward so they're directly under your shoulders. And the support in this position is basically from the elbow to the shoulder, both on the right and the left. And we just allow the head to sit on the top. So you can imagine sort of a seal basking in the sun. The head sort of just resting on the top. We're not trying to extend anything. This position is very similar to the half cobra, but in the half cobra we're actually using the back muscles to lift the body, so there would be no weight on the arms at all. So even if it looks similar, it is exactly the opposite. And here again we can relax the lower back, relax your heels, allow them to fall out to the sides. It's not important that the heels are together, but you can check that the toes are together. In fact, what I'd like to do is encourage you right now to take your heels together and then push them together. So you can feel what's happening in the lower back, and then when we release that, feel again how the lower back responds to releasing this. So as the upper back relaxes, you might need to move the elbows forward, so that we constantly have this support from the elbows to the shoulders. So really there's nothing working at all in this position. Everything is just sitting exactly as it should be. And here we can breathe consciously to the lower back. Especially in the beginning, again, since this is a class for lower back discomfort, if you find that there is too much discomfort in the lower back, I would encourage you to just rock your hips left to left and right to right, and then relax again. If you find that you have maybe a little bit of stiffness in the neck, or you feel like you're trying to hold your head up, move the elbows slightly forward so you can collapse into the shoulders, or your head collapses between the shoulder blades. So if you look at me right now, I'm just allowing that to be completely relaxed. My head's sitting on the top. In fact, it would be uncomfortable for me to just leave my head forward. It's just sitting on the top. And as I promised, we're not going to hold positions for a long time today, so we release this position and roll over to the back. And we're going to come directly into reclined pigeon position. This is one of those positions that helped me so much in the beginning. I can't even describe how much, but it's such an important position to me, and I love learning teaching people this position. So it's such a fantastic stretch. So we're going to bring both feet into the buttocks to start. And I want to encourage you here to press the heels into the floor so we get the lower back completely onto the mat. I don't know whether you can see that. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to place the right ankle just above the knee on the left side. So if you're not sure what I mean by that, just take a time just to look. So my right foot is just above the knee on the left side. Then I'm going to use the stomach muscles to pull the knee into the chest on the left side. And I'm going to catch the front of the ankle, so I'm going to place the right arm through the bent leg to the front of the knee, and then the left on top of the right hand. And here I want you just to relax, so the lower leg on the left side is completely relaxed from the knee to the ankle, toes are relaxed, feet are relaxed. If you need to, you can place a cushion under the head. Just makes that just that little bit more comfortable. And you'll notice here, I'm not trying to pull the knee into the chest or anything like this. It's just to hold this position. Again, encourage you to take a deep breath in and a long exhale out. You'll have the hips relax, the lower back, even the shoulders and the shoulder blades. The shoulder blades sort of slide forward and around the back, almost sort of coming into your armpits. Such a nice feeling. You can close the eyes. And as I said before, the less we do, the more we can experience. So even in this position, we can still feel the air against your skin. If you're outside in the nature, then maybe there's a breeze passing over your body. If you're inside, just noticing the difference in temperature between the air and your skin, the sounds that surround you. And even if you didn't ask it to, the earth is still supporting you, without question of who you are or what you're doing, or it just accepts you as part of this planet. Good. We release the position. You can bring the foot back to the floor. You can release the right ankle from the knee. And then we change sides, of course, now placing the left ankle just above the right knee. I forgot to say here that if you can't reach the front of the knee, you can hold the back of the knee in these positions as well. My bad, sorry about that. So again, we're now going to bring the right knee into the chest with the stomach muscles. We either take the front of the knee or the back of the knee, depending on which is more comfortable for you. Again, we relax here, so don't try and pull the knee into your chest. That's not what we're trying to do. Make sure the lower back is completely on the mat. And then we feel again that the shoulders can relax, the shoulder blades slide around the side of the back, almost into the armpits. Feet and ankle is relaxed on the right side. Toes are relaxed. You can even wiggle the toes just a little bit just to make sure. Neck is relaxed. You can close the eyes if you wish to. tip I can give you here is that if you're feeling discomfort in the body, but it's manageable, then leave it there and just focus on everything else. For example, you are not actually lying on the floor. Your body is lying on your clothes, and then the clothes are on the mat, and the mat is on the floor, and the floor, or the earth beneath you, the sand even if you're on the beach, is supported by the earth's energy or gravity. Conscious of the sounds that surround you. And somehow when we do this, the little discomfort that we felt, it just feels that maybe just that little bit less. It's because we're not focusing on it. The space of the mind becomes larger and the thought becomes less important. We release the position, bringing now the right foot back to the floor. We release the left foot to the floor. And we're going to stretch the legs out. So we're going to slide the heel out on the left side to the left corner of the mat, and then the right heel out to the right corner of the mat. You can remove the cushion from under the head if you wish to, and then just place the hands under the back of the head and just relax. Allow the feet to fall out to the sides. Buttocks are relaxed. Again, if you feel discomfort in the lower back, a little gentle rocking the hips, left to left, right to right, and then relaxing again. Close the eyes and conscious of your breath. Notice I've been encouraging you to inhale and a long exhale and feel how the body sinks into the position. But this actually happens in every single breath that we take. Every exhale, the body just relaxes just that little bit more. Good, so we're going to gently open the eyes, and we're going to come into another of these positions which I absolutely love. So bring the feet together in the center. I want you to collect the bolster again. We're going to place it on the right side of the mat, so just outside the mat, but the top of the bolster parallel or with the height of your hip, basically. Oh, sorry, no, my bad. To the chest. So basically with your heart, in line with the heart. Good. Now, we're going to bring both feet in again to the buttocks. And we're going to pull both knees again into the chest, using the arms. Just hold them, and then we're going to just roll out to the right. Onto the bolster, which is why I said bring it level with your chest. Once we're in that position, we're then going to open the shoulders, so allow the arms to come 90 degrees out from your shoulders. And in the beginning, it's very comfortable just to look at the right hand. And as we become more comfortable with this position, we can gently start to also rotate the head, either looking to the top of the room or all the way looking to the left hand. So especially in Yin Yoga, if the spine actually adjusts itself just a little bit, so sort of maybe there's a gentle clunk in the back as we're doing these positions, then understand that that is just your body allowing the position. When we have a clonk or a crack and we're actually forcing the body to do something, then we should start being worried about it. But if the body is allowing it, then it's meant to be. Again here, it can be nice to have a cushion under the head as well. So we can just supporting the head. There are lots of different ways of doing these positions, and you'll notice that so far we've been taking approximately 3 or 4 different variations of this position. But especially if we have discomfort in the lower back, this position is amazing. So maybe the first time you can only stay in the position if you have chronic back pain, for example, maybe you can only stay in the position for 20 seconds. Come out of the position and just relax. Because next time you do it, maybe it's 25 seconds before you have to move. And eventually you'll be able to do all of these positions for 5 or 10 minutes without any discomfort at all. And I'm not saying this simply because I'm a yoga teacher and that's what you're supposed to do. I'm saying this because I have experienced it. The difference between staying in a position in or out of pain is extraordinary. And I want to help you do that. So, we're going to come out of the position, bringing the feet back to the center of the mat, bringing the knees together. Again here, I'm going to encourage you to just press the heels into the floor, lift the hips, place the lower back completely onto the mat, and now reach over and pull the cushions or the bolster to the left side of your body. Again, top of the cushions, approximately in a straight line with your heart, which is in the center of the chest here. Good. We then bring the knees into the chest, catch the knees with both hands, and then we gently roll out to the left until the knees come onto the cushion. And then, again, we just open the shoulders. Looking to the right hand, if you wish to. Otherwise, as I said in the beginning, it can be more comfortable to look at the left hand. It creates less rotation through the spine. Especially when we start doing yoga, often the muscles are quite short. And this can also cause its own tension. So we want to allow this relaxation to happen slowly. Yin Yoga is not about pushing your body, stretching your body, or doing anything with your body that is uncomfortable. It is about allowing everything to be exactly as it is. I remember very clearly when I was sitting in the wheelchair, I was not particularly kind to my body. I was complaining to it a lot. Why me? Why did this happen to me? Why can't you actually just get up? Do what I'm asking you to do. It's extremely frustrating and upsetting and depressing. Once I started with yoga, which was many years later, I started to understand that I can make a change for myself. And that's when I decided that I'm going to do this. And now I've been teaching for 26 years. Good. We bring the right foot back to the center of the mat. Left foot Again, press the heels into the mat. Allow the lower back to come to the mat. And then we're going to straighten the legs and move the feet to the sides of the mat. Just relax. Maybe just conscious of how the body is feeling, how the breath is relatively relaxed. And even maybe the relative stillness of your mind. Maybe there's less thoughts. Maybe there's 100 thoughts instead of 2,000. Good. All right, so we're going to bring the feet back into the buttocks. And we're going to roll over to the right. So we both allow both knees to just come out to the right. You come up onto the right hip and the right shoulder. And then we're going to place the left hand in front of the chest and just gently come up from the mat. As gently as possible. Good. We're going to come to the last position. And the last position, I'm going to encourage you to move your mat. So, arranging a position where you can be against a wall or against a door. If you're going to be against the door, make sure nobody's going to open the door. That's quite important. Hopefully you have a spare wall somewhere that you can use. So, fortunately I can do this right in front of the camera so you can see what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually just turn the mat so the short end of the mat is basically against the wall. Good. Alright. So we scoot down all the way to the wall. And as much as possible I want you to put your buttocks on the wall. Yeah, there's secretly a camera somewhere hidden in your space that you are, and it will all be on YouTube later. I'm just joking. Lie down onto the mat as gently as possible, and then roll over to the back and lift your legs. And place them against the wall. So, we place then the hands behind the head. And if you have discomfort in the lower back, you can come a little bit further away from the wall, like this, for example. And again, the head, hands behind the back. What I'm going to encourage you to do is to make sure that your legs are reasonably straight. And when I'm going to say reasonably straight, I don't mean push them straight. I just allow them to be straight. A little bit bent is okay, right? Because naturally the body has the knees a little bit bent. So this is just natural. And as we become more advanced or more experienced, let's put it that way, then of course we can get closer to the wall and your lower back will still be on the floor. So I'm going to just move here. Come a little bit closer to the wall. Good morning. Go, Julia. That. Hands behind the neck. You can look at your toes. Soften the knees. Now, some of you might be feeling a lot of discomfort in this position, so what I would encourage you to do, even if you're a little bit further away from the wall and still are feeling discomfort, then take one foot down. And just occasionally you can just change sides, bringing the opposite foot down. You're going to hear me say this a lot. Please, in my classes, if something is really uncomfortable, just move out of it. And you can always come back to it. Right? It's not about sitting for 3 to 5 minutes in absolute agony and torturing yourself. That is not what my classes are about. I just want you to relax completely and allow the body to do exactly what it can do, and no more and no less. And only you can watch this. I think I said this last week. Hope is a very, very powerful emotion and a thought that drives a lot. For me, it was the hope that maybe I'm just going to feel a little bit better. And that's what helped me to understand that yoga was something I can do for myself that just helps a little bit. And all those little bits together became amazing. Today I'm a little bit more relaxed about yoga. I encourage people to do it and help as many people as I can. But when I started doing yoga and I understood what it could do for me, I became obsessed with it. And that was because I basically went from being a complete and utter invalid who couldn't even put the socks on to jumping out of airplanes and playing golf and tennis and jumping off bridges with bungee jumps, and within a 9-month period. I was doing 2 or 3 hours yoga every single day, 6 days a week. But the passion I felt for getting my own life back was so intoxicating. And for me as a teacher today, I see this as a gift that I can give to others. The same gift that was given to me. And that is why I do this. Good. We can come out of the position. Just roll off to the side. And come up. And we come into Savasana. So we're lying on the back, of course. Make yourself as comfortable as possible. Maybe a bolster under the knees so that the lower back can relax. Blanket over your body to keep the warmth. And maybe even a cushion under your head. Closing the eyes. Moving the feet out to the corners of the mat so the lower back again can relax as much as possible. And feeling how the floor is supporting your body. We finished today with a relaxing meditation, a guided meditation, so you can let go of your thoughts, and open your mind. First, experiencing the breath, the gentle movement of your body, the rise and fall of the body with each breath. Conscious of each point of contact from the back of your heels and through the whole body to the back of your head. Allowing your body to settle, feeling the weight of gravity holding you, just as the earth has always held you since you were born. If you haven't done so already, closing the eyes. Softly take a deep, slow breath in, filling the lungs and the abdomen, your belly. And exhale by simply relaxing and letting the air flow out of your body. Repeat this active breath 2 or 3 times more. Breathe in, filling the lungs, and completely passive exhale, watching as the breath flows out of your body. Now releasing all control over your breath. Allowing the body to breathe by itself. No sound or restriction in the breath, as if you were sleeping in a conscious dream. Feel the air around you, the quiet presence of the space that you are part of. Notice the subtle connection between your body the earth beneath you, and the vast sky above you. Everything is already in harmony. You find yourself standing at the edge of a calm, glistening lake. A simple wooden raft floats before you, waiting and offering a place to rest. You stepped instinctively onto the raft with ease, feeling the soft shift of the wood beneath your feet. As you settle down, either sitting or lying on your back, you feel the gentle movement of the water cradling you. Above you, a clear blue sky stretches wide and open. Below you, the water holds infinite depth. And in between, you, floating effortlessly, held, carried, and supported. The raft begins to move, not by force, not by effort, but by the natural flow of the water and the air that surrounds you. You are moving without needing to do anything. Breathe in deeply and exhale slowly. This time feeling yourself becoming lighter with each breath. The water whispers around you, carrying ancient wisdom in its ripples. The sky watches over you, endless, open, and vast. The air moves with you, brushing against your skin. A gentle reminder that you are a part of everything. You feel no need to steer the raft. You do not even need to control where it goes. The water knows, the universe knows. A caring and loving surrender to trusting this journey. Notice how it feels to be moved without effort, to exist without struggle, to be held by something far greater than the mind's need for certainty. This is the wisdom of water. And this is the art of surrender. As the raft drifts, you look down at the water. Its surface shimmers, reflecting both the sky above and something else, something within you. A face, a feeling, a knowing. Something long forgotten, yet always known. Perhaps it is a truth that you have always carried, but never fully seen. In this moment, only you can experience this moment. Let the reflection speak to you, not in words, but in feeling. A wisdom perhaps, or a memory unique to you. There is no rush, allowing the answer to rise like ripples, effortless and clear. A soft breeze, moving and shifting the raft ever so gently. You feel the movement slowing, as if the water knows that it's time to return to the shore. And as if none of this had ever happened, you find yourself standing on the earth again. But something has changed within you. Different somehow. Light as the air, calm as the water, clear as the sky above you, strong as the earth below. And the warmth of the sun on your skin. You are part of it all, and you are the center of everything that surrounds you. You are in perfect balance. You are here, and you are whole. and you are ready. Slowly and gently, please come up. Back to the physical form of your body and the space that you are in. We're going to place the hands just in front of the chest and allow the lower back and your shoulders and your arms to be nice and relaxed. One more forward bend today. You take a deep breath. You exhale forward just to your maximum position. You inhale, coming back up. And exhaling the hands to your knees. Namaste. Have a beautiful evening or a beautiful day. And enjoy your lower back. I encourage you to do this often. And as many times as you need to. I promise you, it will help. I promise you. Have a beautiful life. Thank you for being here.